Mic check. If you can hear me in the chat, hit a 1 for me, just so I know it's smooth. Phoenix Soul, why seeking knowledge in the house? Here we go.
It showed not only the black women, but they disrespected themselves as well. So please watch this, and I'll be right back.
All right. Of course, y'all seen this. Welcome tonight for Wookies and Ray Ray, because you know there's Pookies in every shade, in every color. And tonight we're going to do something different. We're going to show you some Wookies and Ray Rays in the house. Right now, there's DJ Torch on the 1 and 2. About to break out one of my favorite online personalities. You're triggered. Here she is. She's in the house. Here we go.
I went to uni with. Her name is. It doesn't matter what her name is. She was on a TV show. I can't remember what TV show it was called actually. And this girl that I was fucking with at the time used to watch that TV show, and she was like, "Oh, there was this girl that." Because she wants mixed race kids, like her heart is set on it, so she wants a black man. That's all she goes for, black men. And there's this girl that she used to watch on a TV show who was obviously black. She was like, "Oh, I wish I was her." I'm thinking, what?
Jesus Christ!
She kept on saying, "Oh, I wish I was black. I wish I was black." I'm thinking,
Jesus Christ!
What?
For starters, if he was black, you wouldn't be getting any black men. So I'm just saying.
You heard him. That's my argument towards divestment, folks. These are, I mean, if it always seems like these men, not all, but a large portion of black men take every opportunity, whether they date black women or not, to insult black women. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
It's just like that's such a bold statement to say.
I wish I was black.
I wish I was black. Like, yes.
What's going on in your life?
What? Do you know what I mean?
You're white, fam.
You're white.
You're winning. You've won the game.
You're out here. You're just out here. Why? Just with all the rights to you. And you want to be black. I'm not saying there's obviously nothing wrong with being black. I love being black, but like the fact that
apparently not, sir.
What are you seeing that you're not experiencing? Like, what are you seeing?
Exactly.
What's so greener over here? Like, what is
good point? Good point. If a woman's only reason she wants to be black is to date black men, I think a lot of black women will probably say, "Hey, knock yourself out." If they don't, if you don't get knocked out, if you know what I mean.
Greener that you're thinking, I'm missing out.
It blew my mind. It blew my mind. Obviously, there was no negative effects on me per se.
Now, if that isn't buck broken Billy Goat behavior, I don't know what to tell you. You just sat there and listened to conquered men say that when a white tea woman saw the beauty in a black woman, they couldn't understand it. They couldn't understand why a white tea woman would ever see the beauty in a black woman. They also said they didn't understand why anyone would want to be black at all. They truly believe that not only are black women inadequate, but also themselves. And my thing is this, is that how could any black woman ever expect protection from black men that admit publicly that they don't see the worth or value in black women? And you already heard how James said that being a black woman, you're not going to get a black man anyway. So what? And then, you saw Fahad, he's speaking about how he was completely fine with being fetishized. And these men, and I don't even want to call them that, but the truth of the matter is that they have never respected black women. They have never loved black women.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
Black women have never had a safe space for them. Black women were just a money grab and a clout grab for them to use and take advantage of. But you know what? Now I want to show you their apology now that you know their true nature. And then we got to discuss their apology. Well, their apology, smology, whatever. But hold on.
So if you know, if you don't, that's fine. But we just wanted to address something that's happening at the minute.
Yep.
This past weekend, there's been a couple of clips going around from when we did a session on the Flagrant podcast while we were on our US tour.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a few jokes made that were incredibly inappropriate. One specifically pertaining to Black women.
Yep.
And in the clip, Andrew was making a joke. I'm not even going to get into specifics. Making a frankly racist joke.
Yeah.
And we were laughing at it.
Mm-hmm.
And to give.
Look, he's so nervous. He doesn't even know what he's trying to explain. This is all bad. Let me play a little bit more, but I got something deeper for you.
There's first of all, before we get into like specifics or anything like that, obviously there's just literally no excuse. There is no excuse.
Agreed.
And fight or flight is a real thing. Like it is, yeah. Fight or flight is a real thing, and it's so not easy to say, but when you're in those situations, you look at it through a lens of like, bro, if it was me, I promise you, I'll stand up, I'll kick them cameras down,
Yeah.
I would smack homeboy in the face,
Yeah.
I would say this, I'll do that. But when you're in there, you're in shock.
You're in shock, and all you want to do is move on.
Yeah, bro, move on is the fucking word, bro. All you want to do is fucking move on. Just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Just move on to the next thing.
There's
and
so
like
many
we had
times.
to say a few times, bro, just move on.
Just move
just
on.
move
Literally,
on.
So many different topics. You're like, move on.
Yeah.
And it's not even like.
Okay, let me pause because they're really not saying nothing. I'm going to break it down. This man right here, I'm about to play a man that Why Seeking Knowledge turned me on to. This dude drops dimes and then dollars. Here we go.
Well, from the angle of social commentary or social critique, the Diddy case is quite rich. There's a lot to talk about. For me, the most interesting thing is what is demonstrated on multiple levels about the Western psyche. I mean, whether it's Weinstein or Epstein or Diddy or say R. Kelly or Dominique Strauss-Kahn, who everyone forgets about, the predation and the degeneracy of the super rich is always met with disingenuous shock and disgust. While simultaneously, without fail, we're also always told that everyone knew what these people were doing for years. And in fact, I think that most people do understand that this is how the super rich behave. So the shock is not genuine. But if we're being honest, the disgust isn't genuine either. Because in fact, being rich enough to behave this way is precisely why many people want to be rich.
Exactly. They want to be able to break the rules. They want to be able to abuse policies and guidelines. They want to be able to be seen as bigger than life. They want to be seen as basically they want to do foolery, but still be respected.
The predation and the degeneracy are not peculiarities of the wealthy. The thing that makes them different is that they have the resources that enable them to do it.
Exactly. What he's saying is that if other people could do it, they would if they could.
But for a very large percentage of people in the West, the only thing that's preventing them from behaving the same way is their comparative poverty, not their comparative piety. The rich are not necessarily any worse than the rest of the people morally. Their wealth just removes the constraints that restrict other people from being just as bad. I mean, if you look at popular entertainment, the sort of lifestyles that are promoted in popular entertainment and were promoted in the film and music industries by the likes of Weinstein and Diddy and R. Kelly and everyone else, that's the degenerate, debauched, hedonistic, anti-human, immoral lifestyle that they themselves were living and to which the consumers of that entertainment aspire.
Boom. I mean, we're talking bars right there. We're talking bars right there. Exactly.
It's completely consistent with the mentality of colonizers and slave masters. The fantasy lifestyle for Westerners is brutal. It is to dominate, to humiliate, to exploit, abuse, subjugate, degrade, objectify.
That's interesting. I know some people who do that. Some online personalities who do that. They actually literally make a business out of degrading, insulting, and lying about other people. Actually, I've seen it happen with my 2 eyes. They're degenerate.
Dehumanize, tyrannize, and enslave. That's the Western fantasy. It always was, and it is now, and they act upon it any chance they get. I mean, they'll prosecute these types of people.
They act upon it every chance they get. They just can't be good people. They can't. They got to attack others, insult others, demean others. They just can't be good people, because if they were good people, they're scared that they wouldn't be interesting, or people wouldn't be, people wouldn't pay them any mind because they don't have one.
People, these select cases, only to absolve themselves. They need to burn someone at the stake just to convince themselves that they're better than them, that they're more righteous and more moral than them, but they're not. Most of them are not. I mean, look at any music video, almost any music video, and tell me how it's not promoting the exact same lifestyle that you claim to hate Epstein and Weinstein and Diddy for.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, those videos have hundreds of millions of views and hundreds of millions of likes, and you memorize the words of those songs. You have a
This man is on to something right here. What he's saying is that degeneracy sells. Defamatory language sells. Derogatory language sells. And now people are catching on to it, even on social media. So they are starting to insult people, degrade people they don't even know, for the sake of being more popular and making more money. That's why. That's what's going down.
Problem. You can't reform yourselves. You can't reform and rehabilitate your so-called civilization by just prosecuting token offenders. Finding these people guilty doesn't make you innocent. When you made them rich and you made them famous on the very basis of the degenerate messaging that they promoted and that you devoured. You've endorsed it all along, and you endorse it now. You aspired to it then, and you aspire to it now. I mean, you literally have someone like Andrew Tate, who directly built his wealth through and for this very lifestyle, and by selling it to others how they could do the same thing and have that same lifestyle.
And remember now, Andrew Tate starts us down a very, very, very interesting rabbit hole, because, Kevin Samuels was an Andrew Tate fan as well. Okay? So let's keep this going. And same with Fresh and Fit and all them other things. In fact, they might have had him on the show a couple times. So you see that when these people start talking about Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit and DJ Academics, who himself drugged somebody, okay, or his partners drugged somebody, you can see where we're going here. They're degenerates. You got to say it to yourself and say it to others. Look, they're degenerates. They're trying to feed people degeneracy any way they can find a way of getting the people to accept it.
Because this is the Western male fantasy. I mean, think about it. Everybody in this case, in the Sean Combs case, everybody wants to know about the celebrities who were at those parties. No one wants to know about the nameless, faceless executives, the obscure, pasty old men for whom those parties were undoubtedly actually arranged in the first place.
Let me break it down like this. In these parties, they were literally trading and selling humans. I kid you not. Trading and selling children. I kid you not. And you want to support that? Let me calm down for a minute. Let me calm down. Henry Mars in the house. Why? Seeking knowledge. Phoenix Soul. You in the house? Just put a 1 in the chat. Here we go.
The celebrities were just the draw. They were the party favors provided for those anonymous owners and controllers of global financialized capital. But you want to know about the celebrities, because even in your proclaimed disgust, you're still fantasizing. So I find the selective disgust to be performative. And that's actually useful. That's a useful thing to know about the Western psyche and how they respond when the crimes of their society get highlighted. Because yes, in my view, these are crimes of Western society, because the individual crimes of someone like Diddy are reflective of the values and the aspirations of Western society itself. So when these crimes get highlighted, in other words, when for whatever reason, for any particular individual, these crimes are suddenly and selectively subject to accountability, there's a choir of hypocritical condemnation and outrage.
I'm going to pause right there because we can get right into this. This was perfect. This was perfect. Let me show you what's going down right about now. Wookie number one.
We continue to follow breaking news out of Greensboro. The son.
Oh my God, he looks. Okay, ladies, ladies, let me tell you something. Oh, and why seeking knowledge? You best believe I'm using that for Tuesday's show too. That is, he was spitting facts. If you see a guy like this, with them kind of eyes, well, let's find out. Here we go.
The man who's accused of attempting to assassinate former President Donald Trump, now facing serious charges of his own. Orrin Ruth, son of Ryan Ruth, just appeared in federal court within the last hour and a half on charges of possessing child sexual abuse images.
You know what's weird? They're not trying to get rid of the former president because they don't like him. They're trying to get rid of him because they like him. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, but Deontay boy looks crazy. Yeah, he look, ladies, if you divest, if he looks like this, if he has them kind of eyes, keep looking. Keep looking.
He was arrested this week after investigators found hundreds of files of child sexual abuse material in his possession while searching his Greensboro home. Our crew is in the courtroom.
Remember what that man was saying, was spitting facts about. He was saying that people, they wish they could be as degenerate, and I just introduced you to one example. So be careful out there. Be careful. A freaking course into child porn. Yep. 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 And we're going to mix it up here a little bit, though. Okay, here we go. Number two. Here we go.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters. And
ladies, if you go out on a date with a man, regardless of race, really, if he says he has intimacy with animals, I don't know. That might be a red flag. I'm just saying it might be a red flag. You might want to think about it a little bit. Here we go. Yes. The question is he a Wookie or a Ray Ray? Is he a Pookie or a Ray Ray? Let me know. Here we go.
I heard a lot of business because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I'll be in the.
Oh, by the way, he's Diddy's pal. He's a friend of Diddy's.
I was like a sex slave.
And he said he was a slave. So what you've noticed is this: the degeneracy, as we could say, number one, they roll in packs. Number two, it's happening to Diddy. The chickens come home to roost. Here we go. The man's name is Jonathan Oddi. Here he is right here. And they grilled him over an unrelated incident in 2018 where he allegedly shot up one former President Trump. So holy moly. So you talk about degeneracy stacked. We're talking about degeneracy stacked. We have them in our community. They have them in theirs. The problem is why are we aspiring to be like them? Let's find out. It's right this. His bizarre allegations were never substantiated and dismissed. However, they resembled claims detailed in Combs' recent indictment. So basically, the guy they thought dude was crazy, and he had never, met Diddy. But guess what? Degenerates always meet up. They roll in back. Yeah.
A new man accused of opening fire inside of Trump National Doral appearing in court today. Jonathan Oddi facing several charges. Police say he started yelling about the president, then fired shots in the hotel lobby. Local 10 News reporter Madeline Wright has been there. She was there when Oddi faced the judge.
What bond are you seeking? Because I don't think $20,000 is high enough.
The judge raised Jonathan Oddi's bond to $1 million for each count of attempted murder on a police officer. Police say on Friday he opened fire inside President Donald Trump's luxury hotel.
Sir, I'm ordering that you stay away from the Trump National Doral Hotel.
Police say that's where Oddi stole an American flag from, and that he went into the lobby yelling anti-Trump remarks before shooting the ceiling and chandeliers. Police say he then got into a gun battle with responding officers who shot him in the legs, sending him to the hospital.
There were more than, I believe, two uniformed officers, in addition to the unarmed security guard who threatened to kill as well.
The 42-year-old is also charged with aggravated assault.
Y'all, that is some crazy stuff. Hold on for 1 second. I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. I am back. Okay, here we go.
Burglary, criminal mischief, grand theft, and creating a false fire alarm. The last one he actually admitted to when his public defender tried to get the charge dismissed.
I didn't see necessarily the alarm pushing, but that might have to push alarm.
Sir, everything's being recorded. If you want to speak, it's fine. I'm happy to listen. Your attorney turned the microphone off, though.
You know what I love are people who talk too much. They don't realize that when you talk, especially when you're in a legal proceeding, that there's a reason why they say what you say can be used against you in the court of law, and people still talk. It's funny to me. It's funny.
Probably a wise move.
Because it's going to be long. Now back here live at Bond Court, the judge says that Oddi caused $30,000 worth of damage to the hotel. He's being held without bond because two of his charges automatically triggered a no bond status. In total, he is charged with 5 counts of attempted murder, 4 of which were attempted murder charges on a law enforcement officer. Police are still trying to figure out a motive for the shooting. Live in Miami, Madeline Wright, Local 10 News.
Dang.
That's why they're all
crazy.
billionaires.
Let me pause that. I think we've seen enough of that. So, look in the eyes of a man. Look into the soul, ladies. Make sure that person is the right kind of person for you. Now, this is going to be a very controversial person that I'm going to put up right now. But he fits the Wookie and Ray Ray, description.
It seems the mantra of tech entrepreneur
Elon Musk. He's got a whole lot of kids.
Elon Musk's life is the more the merrier. And this philosophy not only applies to his multiple and growing business ventures, but also to his ever-expanding brood. The SpaceX founder has always encouraged people to have more children to save civilization from crumbling, and he's certainly doing his best to help the underpopulation crisis. So let's not wait further and meet the 52-year-old entrepreneur's 11 children. After tying the knot in January 2000, Elon Musk and Canadian author Justine Wilson welcomed their son Nevada Alexander. Sadly, their parental bliss was shattered when Nevada tragically passed away at the tender age of 10 weeks due to sudden infant death syndrome. Elon has largely remained silent, at least in public, about the loss of his son. However, in an email expressing condolences to a father who lost his 18-year-old son in a Tesla crash in 2018, he shared, "There's nothing worse than losing a child. My firstborn died in my arms. I felt his heartbeat." Following the heartbreaking loss of their firstborn, Elon and Justine turned to IVF to grow their family. Their journey toward parenthood reached a joyful milestone with the birth of twin boys, Griffin and Vivian, in April 2004. Vivian, formerly known as Xavier, has undertaken a profound personal transformation. At 18, she publicly came out as transgender.
Yeah, and he disowned his transgender child, by the way, if you don't know. Yep. Don't believe me? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show. Where'd I put it? Where'd I put it? Let's see here. I can't find it. Here we go.
Initiating the legal procedures to change her name and gender to reflect her identity as a woman. Additionally, she sought a new birth certificate, opting for her mother's surname to distinguish herself from her renowned father's name, symbolizing a significant rupture in their relationship. 2 years after Griffin and Vivian's arrival, Elon and Justine's family expanded once again with the birth of their triplet sons, Kai, Saxon, and Damien. Though the former husband and wife have chosen to keep their journey with the triplets relatively private, Justine confirmed that they were conceived through IVF during a 2017 TED Talk. In May 2018, Elon entered into a relationship with singer Grimes, a union.
Wait. You notice how they skipped over why he entered into another relationship? Like we're supposed to just accept that. Oh yeah. Okay, it's another relationship.
That would eventually become characterized by its complexity and controversy. Their relationship culminated in the birth of their first child, son X-A12, in May 2020, marking the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. Initially named X-A12, this rather unique name generated widespread criticism since the inclusion of the characters Ash and 12 in his name posed a challenge as they were not part of the English alphabet, compelling his parents to alter his name to adhere to California law. Amidst the ebbs and flows of his relationship with Grimes, Elon appeared to have cultivated a professional and personal connection with Siobhan Zillis, serving as Neuralink's Director of Operations and Special Projects. Siobhan, a native of Ontario, Canada, crossed paths with the billionaire through OpenAI, the artificial intelligence research and deployment nonprofit co-founded by Musk in 2015. According to court documents obtained by Business Insider, Elon and his employee became parents to twin sons, Azure and...
Wait a minute. You know that? Wait a minute. Wait. So he's bounced around to 3 women already, and the way that they're displaying it in this video is like it's normal, and it's like it's just fine. He can just dump women in whatever he wants. They don't have to explain to us why it happened or anything. Just go ahead and go to the next one.
And Strider in November 2021. This revelation added a layer of intricacy to Elon's personal life, reflecting the intertwining of professional and romantic spheres. It also sparked concerns about workplace ethics, especially considering Elon was Siobhan's boss. In the wake of Walter Isaacson's biography on Musk, the author unveiled the first photos of the billionaire's twins with Siobhan. Grimes reacted unexpectedly, suggesting that Elon was withholding access to one of their sons, although she didn't specify which one. As detailed in the biography, the Tesla mogul purportedly kept Grimes uninformed about his newborn twins with his employee, leading to her feeling outraged upon learning the news. Tell Siobhan to unblock me and inform Elon to allow me to see my son or kindly respond to my lawyer. Until this moment, I've never been permitted to see a photo of these children, despite the situation tearing my family apart, she wrote in a tweet that has since been deleted. She subsequently apologized for the remark, expressing, "As you can imagine, that was a very instinctual response to something that has been extremely challenging for me."
I mean, you see this? This is I mean, who has, I mean, you could think of them like either, who had a lot of kids up there? No, well, nobody had a lot of kids and a lot of money like Elon. Elon has a lot of money. I will have to give him that, though he stole it off the backs of Africans, in those in the battery farms of, that's what I call it, getting all that battery juice. Yep. Having kids work, literally like SLAVEs to get battery juice for his Teslas. So here we go.
She elaborated, communication regarding the twins was not handled particularly well in the past, but I now fully grasp the situation and harbor no ill feelings towards it. She went on to explain that she and Siobhan have since talked and are now on good terms. Women are so often pitted against.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't in good terms. So, and he said that they were in good terms. So basically, you don't take somebody who's saying they're in good terms, that it is actually in good terms. It's basically, the bottom line is that, hey, he's got that Pookie behavior, folks.
Against each other. Speaking with Siobhan, it's very evident she's an amazing human, and we both just want what's best for our kids. Siobhan chimed right back in, hinting that the two baby mamas had buried the hatchet and sorted everything out. So glad we had such a wonderful talk.
Well, I thought if he was such a great leader, he would have had everything organized. But since he's bouncing around so much, I can understand what the women are going through. So, ladies, as you can see, every color of men and women can be in a similar situation. Here we go.
Insanely overdue. You're a total badass, and I respect you very much as well. I can't wait for kiddo playdate, and congrats on baby Tao as well, she posted on X. Just a month after welcoming a set of twins with Siobhan, Elon welcomed daughter Exadark Sidereal with Grimes. The parents lovingly nicknamed the child.
Wait, did he just go back to the other woman and having a kid?
Why? As an homage to her older.
This is what the men want. This is what the men, even if they don't have the money, this is the lifestyle they want to live. They just want to be able to just kind of pop in and out whenever they want to, and with as many women as they possibly that will accept them. And then what happens is that when the women don't accept them, guess what? They get upset.
Their brother, who was monikered X. In March 2022, the revelation of X's existence, who was also born via surrogacy, was disclosed during Grimes' interview with Vanity Fair. In the interview, Grimes referred to Elon as her boyfriend, though she called their relationship fluid. Shortly after the article's publication, she took to Twitter.
So he's not married to any of these women, I guess.
To announce their split, once again leaving the world puzzled by their intricate relationship dynamic. Elon and Grimes' third child, Tal, was kept under wraps until last September. The news broke in a book review by the New York Times covering Walter Isaacson's biography, titled Elon Musk. The review disclosed Grimes as the mother of 3 of his children.
Well, I guess if the ladies, they're not going to get what they want. And what I mean is it has nothing to do with money. It has to do with just attention. He's going to keep popping them out. That's my prediction. That is my prediction. This is what he thought about his transgender daughter.
And you have 5 children.
Dude, they're awesome. Kids are awesome, by the way. You guys should all have kids. Kids are great.
How much do you see them?
I don't see them enough, actually. But
he just said, I don't see them enough, actually. He said, just remember that.
What I find is that I'm able to be with them and still be on email, because I don't need like constant interaction except when we're talking directly. So I find I can be with them and still be, working at the same time.
Wait, are you saying you can do email while you're with your children?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
And Musk got the memo to blame woke people, Toby. What's going on there?
Yes, so in an interview with the...
Welcome, Deontay. How you doing tonight?
Hey, DJ, how you doing?
Doing good. So I got some Pookies of a clear color on here, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's funny, man. But Elon, since we're on the Elon subject, Elon is a unique person, though. He's an anomaly to be bringing up. Yeah, he does have a lot of kids with a lot of different women, and he is proof that just having enough money isn't enough to be a good father.
Exactly.
You obviously got to be in your kid's life. That's what the schism between him and his transgender child was. He could have bought this dude a whole planet if he wanted to, but that wasn't enough. He wanted his father or she or whatever he's transgender to now. And like Elon just said, he can't be there enough. Now, the difference between Elon and a lot of other dust bucket fathers is that Elon's not just in his mom's basement playing PlayStation, smoking weed, and neglecting his kids. Elon is running international companies all over the world, you know?
Right.
And his companies are tied in with governments. I mean, he works with probably a dozen different governments, including the United States.
Right. But don't you think that since that's the case, that he maybe should have just stuck with one family?
Oh yeah, definitely. It would have been a lot easier. But it's when you live a life. I like to study history a lot, and I get into Elon is our generation's version of J.P. Morgan and Carnegie and Rockefeller and Vanderbilt. You know, so he knows he's going down in history like that. So he's trying to live the most eccentric life that he can because he wants to leave a legacy. And a part of that is going to be leaving behind all of these kids. You know, I mean, I don't know what he's thinking on that end, but I do understand that he's thinking of something well beyond just the children that he's having. Now, like you said, I think it'd been better if he just had one family, you know. But Elon like to get it in, man. I mean, it seems like he wants to have a child with every woman he sleeps with, you know.
Right. Apparently, that seems to be the case.
The Financial Times, the world's richest man, has blamed neo-Marxists in elite private schools and universities in the United States for the estrangement between him and his daughter.
Has Elon Musk really disowned his own daughter for being trans? Elon Musk might be one of the richest men in the world, but that doesn't automatically make him a great dad. After one of his older kids came out as transgender and legally cut off all ties with him, things have certainly gone downhill for the millionaire, as he received tons of backlash for abandoning his kids. Since then, a series of events have occurred, from publicly supporting politicians who are anti-LGBT to posting even more transphobic tweets on the internet. And
so basically, it appears to me that he's not a very good father, because even a good father, you if anything, you want your children to be happy, and obviously disowning them. Well, I don't know about you, but that wouldn't be a very good feeling, if you know what I mean.
It appears that Elon is also planning to disown his daughter. Does this mean that Elon would rather forego a relationship with his daughter than supporting the trans community? If you didn't know already, in April of 2022, a few days after her 18th birthday, Vivian Jenna Wilson, formerly known as Savior Musk, Elon's daughter, requested to change her name and gender legally. The petition for a name change and a new birth certificate to reflect her new gender identity was filed with the Los Angeles County Superior Court in Santa Monica. In the docs, Vivian states that she wants to be legally recognized as female, but the name change wasn't only about transitioning, as it seems like it was hugely influenced by the rift between her and her dad. According to TMZ, Vivian's reason for the name change was gender identity and the fact that I no longer live with or wish to be related to my biological father in any way, shape, or form. Vivian.
That's deep.
Yeah, you know, it was something I was thinking. I was actually talking to my sister about this a few weeks ago. When I was a teenager in high school, it was the early 2000s, 03 to 07. And that's when we had this rise in it wasn't the grunge rock, that was the Kurt Cobain in the 90s. We had the pop rock, Good Charlotte and Simple Plan, Green Day. And what happened was it was a group called Simple Plan, and they had a song called Sorry that was a big hit. And in the verse of the song, the guy's like, "Hey, Dad, look at me. Did I grow up according to plan?" So basically, you got these suburban rich white kids, basically. They weren't like millionaires, but their parents were living in the suburbs and making good money. And their dad was telling them, you got to go to college, go to school, get a corporate job, shirt, tie, briefcase. They didn't want to live that life, so that they like rebelled. And then you had the stage after that where it was like the huffing and the smoking weed and the cutting, trying to get attention and rebelling against parents. Now the liberals have made it so easy for children to basically not have to listen to their parents anymore. You got guidance counselors in schools telling kids that's teenagers like, you can change your gender whenever you want to, and your parents can't say anything about it, or we'll sue them, or get them put in jail or something.
Hey,
So,
I've never heard that.
oh yeah, no,
And I worked in schools. I never heard anything about that.
oh yeah, like you can tell these kids in certain, especially states like California, where this stuff is completely liberal.
I mean, I worked in California. It's not like that, man. I don't know who told you that, but they might have given you some information that might have not been accurate because I worked for 2 different school districts in some of the most liberal locations, and they don't think anything like that at all.
Wait, so you telling me that guidance counselors and children's psychiatrists, they have they're telling children, if children want to transgender and their parents don't agree with it, they can fight with their parents.
I mean, the thing is that anybody can do anything with their body as soon as they're 18. Yeah.
I'm talking about like when they're 16 and up, they can fight against their parents. And it's not just with the transgender things, with other things too. But I'm talking about, yeah.
Now, let me break it down to you because I worked two different school districts in what you would call the most liberal and the most lenient towards the thinking of of gender expression, should I say, right? And that was rare. And it's not like that. I don't know where you were, if somebody told you that, but I was in ground zero of gender expression in an area where that's where like it was a lot of people went to feel comfortable about whatever, if their gender options was different than, normal, right? And I was there, I was in that area and believe it or not, there's a lot of people who even claim they're liberal are quite conservative in their thinkings especially when it comes to sexuality. So I'm not sure who told you that, but I can honestly tell you in a very unemotional blank face that I never experienced anything like that at the schools that I was at. Whoever wanted to be whatever they wanted to be, they could put on clothes, but they weren't going to get snipped or anything until they were of age. It's as simple as that. So,
I'm not talking about getting like surgeries or snips done. I'm saying that they are allowed to go about the process. You have to go through talking to psychiatrists and making sure that you actually want to make the decision. But yeah, when you talk about changing the clothes, changing the names, playing ball, like if a boy wants to play on a girl's team because he identifies as a girl, he can do it now. Pretty much in almost most states allow it. You can see what happened in Connecticut.
I think what you're seeing is a lot of those incidents in the news getting blown up because quite honestly, like I said, I'm talking about like 15, 20 years, man. And it was and quite honestly, I can honestly say I might have forgotten one incident of somebody, expressing their sexuality differently. But most of the time, especially in the urban areas, this wasn't happening.
Okay, that doesn't really not. It's funny because that story that in Connecticut, were 2 black.
I've been to teachers' classrooms. I've been to teachers' classrooms, and I don't see any. They tell kids that be yourself and shit like that. If you love your heritage of being black, Asian, African, Caucasian, whatever, they tell you, yeah, love yourself. Yeah, I hear that. And if it means some type of gender stuff, they that might be an addendum. But at nobody in California, and it's important I say this because I think people are getting that stereotype. Nobody in California is like waving freaking, rainbow flags around and telling everybody to go get snipped or telling people that, yeah, you should try it. You should try, gender, the same gender stuff. They're not doing all that. They really aren't. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I'm saying that it's been blown out of it. It's been blown out of proportion. It's not as common. Like when you hear all these politicians saying, you don't want your sons to become daughters and all this stuff. It's people, it's not like that. It's just not. And I'm
I
talking
do
about
agree that it's been blown out of proportion when it comes to it's not as big as like as people are trying to make it. But
right.
it's because whenever you like, I got this theory that whenever you have 1% of your population is compromised, then you better pay attention. When 5% is compromised, you got a serious problem.
Okay, so
And
do
that's
you
just 5%.
think somebody who wants to just who wants to change genders, is that being compromised?
No, I'm talking about. I don't want to put it like something's wrong with them, but what I'm saying is that, like for example, the last census said what 3% of Americans identify as LGBTQ in some way, and those are just the ones who want to do it publicly, right? So obviously, 3% is not enough for you to be like. If you look at all the commercials and movies and media on TV, how much they show the LGBTQ, right? And then you compare that to what the census says, how many there are, you would think compared to media that half the country is basically LGBT.
You know what's funny about that though? And I'm gonna move forward with the video. Is LGBTQ has been out for thousands of years. Okay, some of the most famous people that are in like history books, like Caesar, he had men and women. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like Diddy has men and women. Caesar would
Yeah, I
have.
know the Greeks. I know what.
I think what it is
whole
that
lifestyle came from the Europeans.
Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and move forward. Here we go.
Ian is one of the 5 children Elon had with his ex-wife, Justine Musk. Now, the relationship Elon has with his children from his first marriage is largely a mystery. But after his divorce from Justine in 2008, she shared in an essay what it was like to raise kids with him. When it comes to the children, I deal with his assistant, she said. He had grown up in the male-dominated culture of South Africa, and the will to compete and dominate that made him so successful in business did not magically shut off when he came home. This, and the vast economic imbalance between us, meant that in the months following our wedding, a certain dynamic began to take hold. Elon's judgment overruled mine, she continued, and he was constantly remarking on the ways he found me lacking. I am your wife, I told him repeatedly, not your employee. If you were my employee, he said just as often, I would fire you. After
What a nice man. Man.
their divorce, Justine went on to raise their children out of the spotlight. From what she had said about him, he seemed like a control freak who always needed to have things done his own way. But his second wife, Tallulah Riley, did not share the same views as Justine. Riley claimed that Elon was a devoted father. While they were still married, Riley had shared Elon's parenting skills in a biography about him written by Ashley Vance. He tries to come home early for family dinners with me and the kids and maybe play some computer games with the boys, she said, and went on to mention that at a certain period of time they had multiple nannies, which eventually calmed.
Wait a minute. If you have multiple nannies, then you're not spending that much time with your kids. Jeez.
Down, and they saw the children 4 days a week. And in March 2022, Grimes, Elon's ex-girlfriend with whom he has 2 kids, praised his parenting skills and even commented on it in an interview with Vanity Fair, saying, Elon is really seeing baby X as a protege and bringing him to everything and stuff, referring to their first.
You know what's weird is that it's kind of like the same thing I was listening to when it's kind of the same thing I was listening to. Wait, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Gotta handle something.
Yeah, Phoenix. So you're right. That was a part of their culture too.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right, here we go.
First child together. Very little is known about Elon's relationship with his children. He appears to value privacy and keeps things low key, only posting occasionally with his kids on social media. However, he did give a couple of insights into it over the years, like in a 2020 interview with New York Times when he talked about taking his kids on adventures with him. If I have a trip for Tesla to China, for example, I'll bring the kids with me and we'll go see the Great Wall, or we took the bullet train from Beijing to Xi'an.
That's the thing, is that some kids, they just want a simple life. They just want their dad to be there every day. They come home. They just want to be able to live a normal life. I bet at least half of his kids would rather him be just a regular dad and not rich and ignoring them all the time. Because I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of the time. There's just no way anybody can get enough attention to 10 kids. It's just not going to happen. And I hope a lot of people don't fall into that trap. Let's put it that way. Let me go ahead. Another one. Here we go.
One of the biggest names in the entertainment industry has once again stepped down after accusations of rape, assault, and human trafficking. We're analyzing the 67-page lawsuit against 78-year-old WWE founder Vince McMahon and bringing you some of the most shocking details. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Janelle Grant, a former staffer in WWE's legal and talent departments, has filed a lawsuit in U.S. District Court against World Wrestling Entertainment, more commonly known as WWE, Vince McMahon, the founder of WWE and executive chairman, and John Laurinaitis, a retired wrestler and head of the talent relations department for WWE. Now, this was filed in Connecticut because McMahon and Grant are both Connecticut citizens, and Connecticut.
Wait, let me go back on that paperwork. Yeah, she sent him that paper. Janelle Grant. Wow. Yeah, she sent that paper. Plaintiff Janelle Grant, through her undersigned counsel, hereby files this complaint against the defendants of the World Wrestling, WWE, aka World Wrestling Entertainment. Yep. Degeneracy at every level.
McMahon and Grant are both Connecticut citizens, and Connecticut is where WWE headquarters is based. Now, first, let me tell you, before we even get into this lawsuit, a couple of things. We are mentioning her name, Janelle Grant, because she has chosen to be publicly identified. That's number one. Number two, this lawsuit includes very, very sexually explicit text messages and descriptions that we cannot show you here. We just will not do it. But what we are going to do is break down some of the most disturbing allegations as best as we can. So to start, there is a line at the beginning of this complaint that I thought was very interesting. And it says, quote, Miss Grant is filing this lawsuit not just to address her own suffering, but also to act for those who are afraid to speak out. I find that interesting because, as we have seen sometimes, when a high-profile person is accused by one person, then others will come out too. One person's claims gets the ball rolling. Sometimes,
yeah, it could roll into a Diddy thing. Who knows?
They aren't comfortable coming forward immediately. But just
update on Diddy. I think he's got like another 100, 120 that came out.
I'll let you know that Vince McMahon, he has already been accused by prior employees of trying to cover up their relationship. So some of this is not new. Having said that, when we get into the details of this, it's kind of unthinkable. But according to the lawsuit, Grant met Mr. McMahon in 2019 when they lived in the same building. Grant's attorneys say that she had been the full-time caregiver for her parents, who both died, and that the family home was lost in the parents' bankruptcy. The complaint explains that she was in a really low place in her life. Well, after being introduced to McMahon, he befriended her, showed her a lot of attention, allegedly offered her a role with WWE, told her that he would, help her life. Although what that role would be wasn't entirely clear in the beginning. And that seems to be something that McMahon allegedly took advantage of. You see, from the beginning, Grant alleges that McMahon would greet her in his underwear, his condo, pull her close to him, tell him intimate details about his personal life. Now, Grant says eventually she was coerced into a sexual relationship with McMahon in exchange for a new role at WWE called Administrator Coordinator in the legal department.
Oh man, that, believe it or not, this is a very common thing, is where men of power, and of course this is very much men of power, basically. um I would call it financially grape women, where they promise them a situation that would be beneficial if the women do what they want. It's messed up.
And while she started there, McMahan eventually transferred her to the talent relations department, headed up by John Laurinaitis, again, a co-defendant in this case, a former wrestler. But despite Grant's alleged pleas to end this essentially quid pro quo sexual relationship with McMahan, it did not. And according to Grant, it only got worse. First, Grant says that McMahan would share sexually explicit photos and videos of her with men both inside and outside of the company, including TV production teams, executives, producers, crew, even a world-famous athlete looking to sign with the WWE.
Notice how it sounds very similar to Diddy? It's kind of the mentality that you got to look out for. It's not just skin color, it's a mentality of narcissism, of psychopaths, of sociopaths. It's if you see somebody exhibiting these kinds, or if you know of them having these kinds of behaviors, it's best for anybody, male or female, to stay away from them. It's, if you can, hopefully you don't work with these people. If you do, I feel for you. But for the most part, yeah, this is what you have to deal with.
Person is not identified.
Remember,
We'll talk a little bit more about this later on.
Let me pause it. Go ahead.
Also, yeah. Remember, Diddy's mentor was Clive Owen. I'm sorry. Clive Owen's still alive, by the way. He's like in his 90s. Like, he's white. Because
Yeah.
we're talking about the white guys who do this.
Yeah,
And
he owns several music companies. I remember him.
yeah, and now Clive, he introduced Andre Harrell and Puffy to that type of lifestyle. He's the one who showed them that with this type of power and influence,
you can do this.
You can do this. And I think a lot of people get, I don't want to say a lot of people, but some people get misconfused when you say power, like as if the power really is exactly that McMahon is doing, where you can take somebody who's in a financial struggle in life, they're stressed out, they've never seen no real money before, they're living a, I guess what you would call a mundane, normal life, and you introduce them to a grand scale of luxury, and you let them taste it for free a couple of times. And that's all it really takes, because a lot of these people become complicit in it, but they get dragged so deep into it that they become a slave to it. Like, it starts off normal. Because like if I'm a regular guy walking down the street making $40,000 a year, and somebody introduces me to $1 million party and give me a $800,000 a year job, yeah, I'm gonna take it, But then they start doing weird things, like he said, McMahon would come to the door in his underwear. Puffy would do that. Where he would have new artists come to the bathroom while he's in a hot tub, like he's Tony Montana, or he'll be naked though. And he'll
But
stand
remember
up.
now, I mean, Puffy was never a good person, though. I mean, he was a drug dealer. He was a drug dealer from the get-go. So I do agree that Clive Owens did show him the ropes as far as this kind of lifestyle, but it also was kind of it really, quite honestly, if you think about how hip-hop music, I mean, it's kind of like, you could call it the gateway to exploitation, sexual exploitation. It's like right on the edge there anyway. So I would say that Clive gave him more of a nudge, more than a push, if you know what I mean, into this lifestyle. This was just something that it enhanced Diddy's degeneracy even more. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and it's like what you said earlier when I first heard you go live. A lot of these parties, the biggest thing that Clive taught him that these guys do is now speaking of back in the day, this is centuries old. What they would do, they would throw these huge parties, right? And they would get famous people, celebrities, people of prominence to come, and they would attract the average people. They would attract the press, the media. And like you said, the regular executives or the underclass, not the underclass, but the guys who weren't famous but had their hands on the wheels of power, right? They were the ones who the party was really for. And they would go in there and have all kinds of fun. This what happened with Epstein, and I'm sure that all this stuff is gonna roll out with Puffy as well. Where everybody's focusing on the celebrities, but they're not. But they don't even know who these guys are. It's like over 100 million people on Earth who are millionaires, and like what 5,000 billionaires. How many people can you name? Like most of us can't even name 1% of the billionaires on Earth, and they are at these parties just mixing in, and you up here looking at LeBron. And I remember at the Super Bowl they were showing Jay-Z and Beyonce in a booth. The last Super Bowl, and they were next to this white guy with a long beard, and the announcer said, "There's Jay-Z and Beyonce," and I'm like, and then I said, "And Jack Dorsey," but they didn't even mention his name. It was Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey started Twitter, who he ended up selling to Elon Musk. He also started owns Cash App right now, and he also helped Elon Musk launch PayPal. But like the average person don't know who Jack Dorsey is. I know because I'm a weirdo geek like that. But look at how the media just glossed over him like he's just some random. Yeah, that's just some lucky white guy to be in the booth with Jay-Z and Beyonce when he's literally 100 times richer than them and more powerful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then McMahan is accused of recruiting individuals to have sex with Grant or participate in threesomes. He also allegedly directed her to have sex with Mr. Laurinaitis, who's again named in the lawsuit. She was expected to perform sex acts at WWE headquarters before, during, and after work hours. And to give you an example of what we're talking about here and what she was allegedly subjected to, the lawsuit says that on May 9th, 2020, McMahan defecated on Grant's head during a threesome and commanded her to continue the sexual encounter with the third person referred to as McMahon's friend. She later learned that
damn, this is Diddy like.
Third person was McMahon's physical therapist. And just going back to that other allegation about McMahan and Laurinaitis having sexual contact with her at the office at WWE headquarters, this was allegedly despite her begging them to stop, and each held her down as the assaults happened. They allegedly said to her, "No means yes." Truly horrific stuff when you think about this. The lawsuit just describes these multiple sexual encounters between Grant and McMahan, which Grant says were not consensual. She claims that he assaulted her multiple times with sex toys named after male wrestlers. According to the lawsuit, quote, in addition to her panic attacks, Ms. Grant began experiencing increasingly severe physical, mental, and emotional symptoms, including sleep disruption, dizziness, exhaustion, rashes, weight loss, hair loss, and migraines. November 2019, Ms. Grant informed Mr. McMahan that her doctor suggested that her symptoms stemmed from trauma and ongoing stress. McMahan mocked her, quote, emotional trauma, my ass.
Wow.
However, on November 20th, 2019, McMahan insisted that Ms. Grant see a physician of his choosing. There's another.
Damn, you talk about, man. So that's crazy.
That's where the sick part comes in. I mean, obviously the whole thing is sick, right? But I'm thinking where it truly sets in to the perpetrator is when they believe that they've got this person so psychologically locked in that they're never going to tell on them. They're never going to call the police. They're never going to, like, I mean, you see, Diddy felt so comfortable that he beat the hell out of Cassie on camera in a public hallway of a hotel. Like he just knew she wasn't going to do anything. You see, this guy's up here defecating on her, choking her out, raping her, telling her, they just assume it's beyond assumed. It's like they feel for a 100% fact this girl is not going to say anything to anybody.
Right.
I own her now. And I think that the longer it goes, because when this stuff first started happening with Bill Cosby 30 years ago, I'm like, how are these people coming from 30? Even with the Catholic Church back in the day, I'm like, how are you talking about the pastor touched you 30 years ago with the police, and why y'all just now coming out? And I'm like, okay, I see now. It's really hard for them to actually say something. It is psychological damage. Nothing is to truly control somebody. You got control over their mind, their spirit, basically. You know, like it's like a slave is truly a slave when you can take them out of their chains and you know that they're not going to run. Like a slave is truly a slave when you can go to sleep in your bedroom and let the slave sleep on the floor with you in your bedroom. You know it's not going to kill you.
Right.
So I think that that's how they felt. They just thought that day would never come, and it's like I wonder if that's why all these other celebrities are being so quiet about the Diddy case now. Because how many of these other guys out here like just are a part of this? They don't want to say anything either way. They don't want to condemn what Diddy's doing. They definitely don't want to defend what he's doing. I mean, 50 Cent's the only one who's coming out saying anything because he knows for a fact he didn't do anything wrong, you know. But like Jay-Z not to say nothing, LeBron not to say nothing. I mean, I told you I don't think Jay would do anything.
It's going to be a very, very interesting list of people. I know. Even somebody was even mentioning one of my heroes, Denzel, but I gotta wait to see it because Denzel, we all know, went there, but the last time I saw, he walked in there and turned right back around and left. So that's what I'm going with for now, as far as Denzel is concerned, until I see, I see what's on paper. But I will believe that paper. If it's on paper, man, the feds have nothing against Denzel. I can tell you that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they said that he got into some kind of argument with Puffy.
Yeah.
And left out. Yeah. So it's just plus it's just that kind of stuff. Denzel been married to the same woman for 30, 40 years, like Samuel Jackson. These guys don't got I just don't see, that kind of debauchery. Look, you're gonna be a freak, you're gonna be a freak. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's not illegal. But when you start to get into that whole power tripping and sex around, we all gonna be around here naked, playing with each other and filming each other. Like, okay, that's
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. But I guarantee you, there's going to be a lot of names like the name of the guy you were saying. He might be on that damn list. So, and that's one of the reasons why it's a lot of super rich people that we don't even hear about. A lot of them do that because they want to do stuff like this, but they don't want to be famous enough that people are pointing them out all the time, if you know what I mean. So here we go. Well, everybody, this is probably the feast of the show right here, the most controversial couple right here. Here we go.
No, I like to be transparent. He doesn't seem to me like.
We got it, folks. Oh, Brett. Queen of Kings. And her name is Rose, I think. Here we go.
Super. He's a great father and family guy. He doesn't seem super overly ambitious or driven to me at all whatsoever.
Babe.
He's very.
Some truth on you.
No, he's very. Go ahead and tell the truth.
How much do I work out now? Is it because?
But he's very.
Do I have free time? I don't have free time.
He's very like.
Don't work 70 hours and then
very frugal.
Come home, take the.
Good at saving. Very frugal guy. But like.
By the way, Darnell, thank you for the $2 super chat. $2 super chat. Thank you, D.
Like I said, I think he's more of just like the save money and work a job.
Is it in the house?
and work hard type of person.
I would rather be a pilot.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, right now, there's no problem. I have no problems right now. Let's keep it going though.
Entrepreneur, get it, let's get it, go.
Flying and stuff like that, but that would require me to not work and go to school. So is it realistic? Not necessarily. So if I was to quit work and go to school and not,
but we had you quit multiple times for that reason, and it didn't get done.
Well, we didn't have an extra $10,000 to just drop on, did we?
Yeah, I did. I told you a million times.
We were doing vacations and everything.
No, that was easy though. I told you that I had. You really weren't getting it done because of the written test. You got to be honest about it.
I would have done it. I need to run the study, so I cannot do the.
A few moments later.
Good morning, y'all. Yeah. So today is Monday, September the 30th, you guys. It is around 9:40 a.m. Rose went live around 3 o'clock a.m. She deleted the live. We have different recordings of the live, and people watched the live while it was going. People have come into my comment section and said that Brett attacked Rose and her oldest son stepped in to try to protect Rose. They also said it on Rose community post. If you go to Rose community wall, we're going to go to it right now.
So unfortunately, it sounds like to me, and I've seen this on several channels and vetted this, and it appears that Brett did attack Rose to the point where he actually was put in jail. Now, this is pretty amazing because, law enforcement usually doesn't put their pals in jail. So it must have been something deep, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying there's, I'm not going to go deep into how law enforcement is, but let's just put it this way. For the same offense, Black men will get more punishment. It's just the way it is. But it's deep that he did enough damage that he got put in. He has a record now. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying he doesn't have a record, but he has, because he still has to go through the court and all that kind of stuff. Here we go.
All right, love bugs. We have our screen share open. We are on Queen of Kings channel. Let's look at the live tab. All the lives are gone, y'all. It's just this one from 6 days ago when they were laying in the bed. Now let's look at the community wall. 4 hours ago, I love my husband. My heart hurts. Look at these comments, y'all. She does anything for content. Where can we find the video? What happened now? The blue that was seen seconds after he rushed her is the oldest son jumping in to protect her. Go look at her shorts. It's the same blue top he's wearing lately. They saying Brett attacked her. Yes.
By the way, this is Queen Blah and More. I like doing that. Blah and More.
Brett attacked her and the oldest son tried to protect her. And from the split second before it all went dark, Brett possibly knocked him.
Basic bottom line, DV comes in all colors. So hopefully, she will escape, because I don't know if this was the first time and she's just now showing it, or if this is the 50th time. But it's a wrap. I mean, if it's a wrap, the only thing I would see is that they split up for a while, and he gets a heavy dose of therapy.
Stop spreading false information. It was muted most of the live and blank screens, but the part where he went at her was quick. It happened sadly. Y'all, so her community wall, she posted that
Now,
she
let me pause that because I want to go to the spot where it's happening. Oh, okay, it happens pretty quick. I'm going to go forward a little bit. Here we go, folks.
be like, but just watch.
All right. And what she said is that there's no sound on this. So as you see the blank screen, here it is. It was that quick. Now you want to know why this is authentic, and this is
This is the
sad.
clip they're talking about, y'all.
Okay, let me tell you why it's authentic, sad, and real. Oh, Deontay, it was good. It was good having you on the channel, Deontay. But it's if you've noticed, the first thing that came out of her mouth after he went to jail was my heart hurts. I love my husband. When she said that, you could tell she wasn't trying. You know how these men out here saying, "Oh yeah, she was just trying to frame him." That's not something you say after you've been assaulted. That that I love that person. That in she loves the man. She does love him, which is a huge problem. You know. And YC Knowledge says, "Wow, we aren't safe anywhere." Yeah, I wouldn't say safe anywhere, YC Knowledge, but that's why I'm here to give some expertise. Obviously, there are signs in all cultures of men that let you know that they have a problem, a mental issue that could be dangerous to you, and that's what we're going to explain here. Is basically the thing is that as right now, quite honestly, Rose, I would hate to tell you if Rose sees this video, which she probably never will, but who knows? It's a wrap unless he gets some stringent and he really takes it on. He takes on the rebuilding of this anger because quite honestly, there's no reason for him to even step to you like that. I don't know if there was any verbal stuff going on. We'll find out later. Here we go.
We're gonna watch it again. You can see Brett come toward her. It's hard to make out what the heck is happening, but you can see Brett come toward her. See, he coming toward her.
That kind of looked like a horror movie in a way. That was kind of creepy.
Just watch, y'all. It's around 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Brett rushing toward her.
Damn.
That is crazy.
Do y'all see it?
I don't know what the heck is going on. But he literally rushed, he ran toward her. And then this commotion, and then you're gonna see this blue pop up. The person in the comment section said the blue is her, that's the blue right there, her oldest son.
They must be wrestling, and her young son probably may have saved her life. We don't know. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't because he was stronger than Brett, because Brett's giant. Brett's a giant. He's a giant. But maybe it was just enough resistance from, her younger son, from her older son to I don't know, cancel out his rage.
See, they're saying that's the oldest son trying to step in and protect Rose.
So her phone is on the floor right now.
Honey, I want to go and look at something real quick. We're on our community post, y'all. Let's get back to her main channel, and I want to go to the shorts because I seen the boy with the blue shirt on. We just want to confirm that's the same shirt. Yep, here we go.
Yeah. This young lady right here did some really, really good work. Really good research. Queen Blah and more. She did some great work. But you see right here, the young man right there, blue shirt, that's what he had on when he was trying to defend his mother. It's a shame he had to see that happen, but it's good to see that he had that heart in him to protect his mom.
It's a hoodie. It's actually a sweatsuit.
Oh my God. I cannot believe
that they're saying that that's the blue that you see. He's trying to protect his mother, is what the comment said. Wow, y'all. That's crazy.
Person supposed to protect you is your worst enemy. That's a shame.
So after that, people said that they seen police. Hold on, I'm gonna go to that video also.
Pay attention
Yeah,
to the
look
end
how
of this.
big he is. Look, he is probably about 6'4", 6'5". And he's not ripped or nothing, but he's big and he has some muscle.
This video.
I'll tell you one thing. He a big man. He could do some damage.
Police officer can be seen. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Bridget, you're right. That man could have easily have hurt that kid. Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy. Phoenix Soul breaks it down perfectly. Judging from the increasing trashiness of her content, I knew something was way off in their relationship. Bars. He's not working, right? Living off of her. It sounds like he has some kind of job, at least from the conversation that we heard. But it's hard to tell. Let's put it this way: whether he's working or not, Bridget, it's pretty clear that she's paying all the bills, and he's pretty much paying for the light bill. So the key to this that I want to point out
is all.
What I want to point out is that you can't date a bus driver regardless of what skin their color is. If you're doing good, like she's doing good, you're supposed to be matching up with somebody who's doing good too. I'm not talking about where they have to make more money than you, but it's just a couple dollars below at the most. You see what I'm saying? It's just a couple dollars below. Or like you got a lot of money and maybe they own a house, stuff like that. Like another young lady who had a Caucasian boyfriend. I don't know if you remember, she was the one who made jokes with her boyfriend. And he was about as big as Brett, but he was not Brett. It was somebody else. If you notice, he owned a whole farm, so they're gonna do okay. Having property is like one of the wealthiest things regular people can do. Having property. So, but this is crazy.
All the way at the very end, you can see like black or blue or something. It looks like a police uniform.
Pay attention to the end of this video. A police officer can be seen. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.
This is from Queen Blind Moore. There he is. Oh, and if you're wondering, I got something else to show you. She did the right thing, though. She did the right thing. She somebody called the police. I don't know if it was Rose or the kids, whoever.
I was trying to pause it on what looks to be the police officer.
Let me see if I can bring it back and tell you what she's looking at. I got to get a mouse that's a little bit more sensitive than this one. Wait, yep, right there. I think I saw it. I can't see it. Okay, let me show you something else.
I was trying to pause it on what looks to be the police officer.
That's Brett. That's Brett leaving. That's just crazy. Yeah, this is Brett right here. Basically, that's Brett walking, I guess, out of jail. Talk to us, Brett. Come on. Tell us what happened, bro. Tell us what happened. Come on. Tell us about that temper. I mean, tell us about that temper that had you walking towards a woman who was probably is about 110 pounds, soaking wet. What? And you about what? 300 pounds, bro? I mean, what the hell happened, Brett? Brett.
Hey, Marty's.
Brett, what the hell happened, bro?
Did you hear?
Yeah, here we go.
Here, Queen of Dusty husband was arrested for family ABUSC. You know, Queen of Dusty. Oh, sorry.
Yep, there you are. So that's Brett. So, basically, it's all it's all bad. I mean, she had his kid. She's paying for everything. That's already, why would you want to do that? That is crazy. Let's keep it going though. Let's keep it going. I got another one. Bridget, you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Here we go.
How you feel going in today, man? Good luck, man. What's the outcome you're hoping for? Anything you tell the fans at all today? I wish you the best, man. Good luck today, brother. Good luck, man.
What is it with guys wearing orange jackets when they go to jail? I don't get it. She's 6'9". Tekashi 6'9".
Hey, what's going on out there? This is to the streets.
All right, let's go forward. Here we go.
Videos on this whole Treyway 6'9" debacle. Well, today 6'9's daughter's mom, Sarah Molina, posted up some pictures. And
Here we go. We got another one.
Long story of two different events, two different occasions, I should say, where he allegedly beat her and accused her of giving him an STD. She said that he
pause that
was
right there. That is some crazy stuff. Let me play some more. Here.
jealous of
everybody.
some guy that he found. Like he was.
There seems to be some weird stuff going on online. I'm going to do the rest of this tomorrow. I got to get off because it seems like we're getting a lot of weird action. I went from 10 people to 118, and I don't, sounds good, but there's something going on here. So I'll check out with everybody later after I check in with YouTube. Talk to you soon.